Welcome to State Insurance USA Cares podcast, where we celebrate the heart of our communities. Each episode, we highlight local charities and nonprofits who are bringing hope, help, and healing to those who need it most. Get ready to be inspired by the amazing stories of people making a difference, because together, we care.
Well, welcome to the State Insurance Cares podcast. This is the charitable giving arm of State Insurance USA. I'm Gail Langner. Every day, there are children in our very young community facing challenges that most of us can hardly imagine. And yet, with the help and encouragement, those same children can thrive. Well, today's guest is Julie Lombardi. She's the executive director of Cape Coral for the Children, and they are dedicated to helping local students. So, Julie, thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you, Gail.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did Cape Coral for the Children get started? I heard a story that there was a young man who actually inspired you. Is that true?
Yes, that's correct. I went to Do the Right Thing presentation, and he was the overall winner of having done something in Cape Coral for which he was recognized. And in dictating his biography, they mentioned that he was 17 years old, a graduating senior, had been accepted to college with a 4.0 average, and working part-time in an ice cream store. That was okay till they told me that he was homeless. His mother had died 6 months previously, and his father was incarcerated. So he was doing what they call couch surfing. Different friends, families would say, spend the weekend with us, or come on over, mom's got dinner cooking, etc. And this is how he was surviving.
Wow.
And needless to say, I'm a mother of 4 children and 3 stepchildren. So I'm sitting in the audience going, I'll bring them home with me.
Right. What's one more, right?
What's one more?
Right.
Which, of course, was not a reality. But in talking to people that I knew, we decided we were going to form a very off-the-cuff group, have luncheons once a month, and try and do things for children that reside in Cape Coral of similar hardships. Now, we didn't really get started until 2 years later when we were incorporated and did a formal board of directors. Mm-hmm. On the board of directors, there are 6 other women that sit with me. Each one has a specific title and a specific duty that they do. In particular, I have someone that is known as the Director of Project Liaison. And Project Liaison is fashioned under the McKinney-Vento Act, which is a federal act to identify homeless children in the United States. So we contacted the school system and the social workers to find out what's the status in Cape Coral. At that time, there was 287 homeless children in Cape Coral.
Today, Julie, that's awful.
Well, today we're over 400.
Oh, my gracious.
It's not getting any better, again, due to many, many economic reasons. Low-paying jobs, single family, rentals, cost of living in an apartment, never mind owning a home, or lack of availability, even though Habitat does a lot to get people into homes.
Right.
It's hardships. And we all know right now, price of food, price of gasoline, that just adds to the economic hardships.
So how do you help them? What kind of things do you do?
Well, that particular liaison, Project Liaison, we collect toiletry products because our wonderful teachers will come in early in the morning. Any child that's identified under McKinney-Vento, or any child that shows they need it, will provide them with necessarily toiletry items to either go into the boys' room or the girls' room and clean up before school starts so they have dignity. They also send home toiletry products to the home, because a lot of times, when you're buying food, do you choose, I hate to say this, toiletry products over the food or the rent, etc.
Right.
So we provide to the school systems toiletry products ranging from toothpaste, toothbrushes, deodorants. Schools also ask us for white towels, white washcloths, socks, underwear. Occasionally we'll provide them with outfits if they tell us they need it and we can find it.
Mm-hmm.
I have 139 on an email list that I use, and I stream that out and say, this is what we need. And at the next luncheon, the people will drop off products at my house, or just if they're in the area and they've got the
Mm-hmm.
products, they'll drop them off.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just make sure that school gets them.
Okay. So that you finding that is that the most often requested? Is that the greatest need, do you think?
Um, I don't know that that's the greatest need. I don't know how I can define it into a greatest need, other than maybe if I was to divide the pie up and say toiletries is one avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, School, when school is out in the summer,
Oh, sure.
we just put together, with the help of Incredible Bank, they gave us a $2,500 grant. We put together 57 care packages. And then we also put together for two particular schools, if you can imagine a van loaded with food for each school, because they have a pantry
Okay.
to give these children food during the school when the school's not in effect. Because
Mm-hmm.
under McKinney-Vento, if they're identified as needing food during the school year, they get breakfast and lunch. But it's when school's not in place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can say to you, my daughter is a teacher in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania,
Oh, okay.
and she keeps in her desk energy bars. And she said, Mom, I know when the child comes and says, Miss, can I have an energy bar, at the end of the day, meaning they're not having dinner and maybe they're taking something home for a sibling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So it's not just Cape Coral, it's across the United States.
of
But
course it is.
we particularly pay attention to Cape Coral because that's our mission statement.
Sure. And besides, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's one thing for somebody just listen, but you're the one, I mean, you picked it up and went, no, we're doing something about it. So I love that. I came to your lunch and there were a lot of people in that room. About how many people are normally there that come to the lunch and help?
Well, luncheons, we normally average about 30 people, but we
Mm-hmm.
also have a fashion show in October. In February, we do a bingo at Rusty's here in Cape Coral.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's bingo games, and we have raffle baskets. And from that, we hope to raise at least $4,000. Now, all that money is earmarked to our scholarship program. So that's one more egg in the basket.
Okay.
This year, we gave out $23,000 in scholarships to children who, after having filled out the application and going through the scholarship committee, which again, I have a director that does that,
Mm-hmm.
identifies children that have graduated from high school, are going to be going to a university or a technical school, and they need financial help. Again,
Okay.
it could be a single parent, it could be a family that has a terminal illness, low income. We just identify children who need the money the most.
Mm-hmm. Do you have
Trying to think other things that we do. We have occasionally people will call me and say they've got cribs or carriages, strollers, etc. And we will make sure that will get to another organization that we kind of partner with. My motto is, if you give it to me, I will find a home for it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I know you obviously cannot name names, but is there any particular really success story, one that really warms your heart that you think, oh gosh, we did a good job with that one.
Well, we've gotten letters back after they have graduated college and just said, thank you so much for the help. You made my college scholarship easier. So we know that it's working.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I know that your organization actually depends obviously on the generosity of the community and all of your fundraising efforts and so on. So you need do you need volunteers? Do you need money? Do you need like what if our
We
listeners?
always we always need money because, um, like I said, this year we gave over $23,000 in scholarships. And we, unfortunately, there were probably another 7 or 8 that we could have funded, but we didn't have the finances.
Right.
So if anybody wants to make monetary donations and earmark it for the scholarship fund, that would be wonderful, because
Okay.
I'm a firm believer, whether it be a university or a trade school, if they get educated in a particular field and go on, they're going to turn around, hopefully, and pay it back.
Right. Exactly. Well, before we go, Julie, just ask me this. Well, first of all, can you give our listeners your website? Would that
It's
be
sure, it's capecoralforthechildren.org.
okay? That the best way to get you? Is there a way to contact you through that?
Or they can go on Cape Coral for the Children at gmail.com, and
Okay,
there's a link there that they can say they want more information. But if they go on
wonderful.
the website, they'll see our events. They'll see who the board of directors is. They'll see the mission statement. They'll see pictures of various events that we've had.
hmm Well, you are doing an amazing job, and the fact that this was created out of your tugging on the heartstrings for that student, and you decided to do something about it. And I think that's where you're to be commended, Julie. Is just knowing that you didn't just sit by and go, "Oh, wow, that's sad." You actually decided to do something about it, and
Well,
I commend you and your board and everyone that's working together to make that happen.
Gail, when I go out and speak to organizations, and I'm very happy to do that. So if any of your listeners belong to an organization and they want me to come speak, I'd be more than happy to.
Okay.
Because when I say to an organization, we have 400 homeless children in Cape Coral, it's like deer in headlights. They look at me and go,
Right.
but we don't see them. And I
Yeah.
try and explain, we're not Los Angeles, we're not Chicago, we're not New York City. You're not going to see these children sleeping in doorways. They are
Right.
living in a home, but it's not their home. They're
Right.
families that have doubled and tripled up. Can
hmm
you imagine if your daughter or your son called you tomorrow and said, we've lost our house? We are coming to live with you. Now you've got a
Right.
son or a daughter or both with 2 or 3 children.
Right. Right.
What would that do to your family situation, and how
hmm
difficult it is to get everybody into the bathroom in the morning, get washed up for work and school, feed them, make them comfortable,
hmm
and give them the dignity that they're not living in their own home.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, incredible. Thank you, Julie, for taking the time to be with us today. It was an honor for us to give you a donation through State Insurance Cares, and we will see you again soon. I know that for sure. Obviously, you'll be attending. Hats off to you in November. I'm
Yes,
sure I sent you the save the date on that. So, thank you again. Thank your board of directors and everything for all you're doing, and we'll see you again soon.
thank you, Gail, so much for giving us this opportunity.
Absolutely.
You have a
Thank you
good
for
day.
joining us on State Insurance USA Cares. We hope today's story uplifted and inspired you. If you'd like to support or learn more about the incredible work happening in your community, visit stateinsuranceusa.com or call 239-567-9992. You can also visit CaboWaboGym.com. Until next time, be sure to let your sun shine and keep sharing good and positive vibes wherever the waves take you.